Hello from Myrtle Beach. Today we are going to take you on a complete tour of the Myrtle Beach State Park. It is an awesome state park right south of Myrtle Beach. It's technically in the county, not the city, but it's touching right up against the city of Myrtle Beach. Hi, I'm Carmen. If you're new here, we cover everything Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area. And if you're a return viewer, welcome back. We are so glad to have you and thanks for watching. So as we head in, you can see it is a beautiful wooded park. Just so many pretty things here to see. It is oceanfront. They do have camping, they have cabins, they have a fishing pier, just all kinds of activities. They have a nature center. So we're going to give you a tour of the whole area and show you where everything is located. I want to talk about this entrance here. Once we get a little further up, it splits into two lanes depending on the time of day. To the left is for annual pass holders, so that's primarily locals or people who have a second home here and come on a regular basis. It's closed in the morning, which is when we're here, but it's open on busy days and it's open later most days. And so we're in the only lane that's open, which this is the lane you want if you do not have an annual pass. This is the way you want to come in. And so we're going to have the pricing up here on the right, but you can also check their website because this is subject to change. So if you can't see that, adults are $8, and as of the time of this recording, the annual pass is $99 if you're interested in that. On the right here, you have the park office. So if you're checking in for cabins or camping, that's where you would go. And over here, coming up on the left, is a parking lot for the nature center. So if you're coming to go to the nature center, bring your kids there for a class or something, that's the parking lot you want. I actually love this parking lot because it's shaded. They have other shaded parking lots. And then over here to the right is the sculptured oak nature trail. And we have hiked all the trails here. They're not very long, but they are a lot of fun and very beautiful scenery. Definitely pack your bug spray. And then you can see over here on the left, and we'll see more of those, they have picnic shelters, and you do need to reserve those in advance, but they also have these open picnic tables, and there's a lot of shaded spots you can find to do this. So you can also come without having to have a reservation as well. Again, more picnic tables, great place to cook out. You've got all these beautiful trees. And also there are restrooms, and they're fully functional with flushing toilets and everything throughout the park. There is my window's a little fogged up over here, but hopefully you can see it. There is a playground right there, and you can already see the ocean. There's also a playground within the campgrounds themselves, so that's not the only playground. And coming up here on the right, you'll be able to see more of the shelters I mentioned that you can rent. So that's another good example. And they do have a map on their website showing the different things that they have, whether it's campsites. Also, you see that plane, we are really close to the airport, so there's going to be low-flying planes over the state park. That's something to keep in mind, especially if you're camping in a tent. You can actually hear the planes pretty loudly, so that's something to keep in mind. But anyway, you can go to their website to pick out the campground or the shelter that you want. They have maps of those. A lot of people don't realize this parking lot's here, and there's some good shade right over here. It is a bit longer walk to get to the beach from this parking lot, but if the other lots are full, this can be a good choice. Now we're headed into the cabins to show you what those look like. They only have 6 cabins here. 5 of them are in this area, and 1 is in the campground area. We do have a tour of one of the cabins on our website, so I will link that in the description below. They are really nice. My parents particularly like to stay in them when they're visiting, and you have your own private access to the beach here at the cabins. So I'll show this one right here just to give you an example. And they're very secluded except for the one that's in the campground that I mentioned from everybody else. And right down there is the path to the beach. And so you can see the rest of the cabins here, except, like I said, the one that's in the campgrounds. Here's another view of the cabins, a little more up close. Somebody on their screen porch there enjoying the day. They do have screen porches. They have multiple rooms. There's different amounts of rooms depending on the cabin. You can tell that information online. We're headed into the campground area now, so that is the final cabin that I mentioned. Also right there is the store where you can buy all kinds of sundries. It's a pretty cool gift shop too. They have a lot of neat things in there. It's a lot cooler than I expected. A lot of really neat Myrtle Beach State Park themed items. So this is the campground. They have tent camping. They also have a lot of RV camping. The campground is very popular and it does fill up frequently, and the cabins in particular get reserved, I think, like, I don't know if it's a year in advance. It's pretty far in advance. So if you want a cabin, you need to book those really early. The campground's probably got some more flexibility, but if you have your heart set on a certain date, especially a busy time of the year, you want to reserve that as early as you can. Also, I should mention the park, not talking about camping, just talking about the park in general, getting into the park to enjoy it. In the summer months or major holidays like Memorial and 4th of July in particular, and the days surrounding those, the park frequently reaches capacity in the morning, like early in the day, like before lunch. And so you want to get here super early, not to mention there can be an incredibly long line to get in. We've seen it backed up way down Kings Highway just to get in on the 4th of July. So we recommend getting here very, very early. The park opens at 6 a.m. So if you're coming during those really busy times, I would say try to get here 7, 8 a.m. at the latest. And even that, you're taking a risk. It could still reach capacity. They have very limited parking because it's a park. So you want to have the trees, not a bunch of parking. And so definitely keep that in mind. Off season, you're fine. I don't think I've ever seen it at capacity off season, and we live here full time. So the parks are great. Those of you thinking about moving here, this is a great way to get to the beach because a lot of the beach public access charge a fee, or if you live in the city, you may not have to pay the fee. But if you're in the county or certain places, you're going to have to pay to park at the beach. And so this is a great option. It's $99, like I mentioned, for an annual pass, but that also gets you into all South Carolina state parks. So you can go to Huntington Beach State Park, and we have a video on that. I will link that in the description below. That is just a little south of Myrtle Beach and Murrells Inlet. And you can also go to all the other state parks in South Carolina. So if you live here or have a second home here, I highly recommend that. We are still in the campground area. So I showed you that parking lot for the Nature Center. It is right over there. So you walk through that path right there, and this is the Nature Center. And it's actually really cool. On the inside, they have some small animal exhibits and a lot of sort of scientific and nature oriented. And they have classes there as well. Like you can see the schedule right here in front of me. So a lot of cool options there. There are multiple bathhouses within the campgrounds and bathrooms. And then also I wanted to show you another view, better view of the sundry shop I mentioned. That's also the gift shop. Lots of stuff in there. There's another gift shop at the pier, and we will show you that too. We've left the campground area and backtracked. So if you came straight in when we came into the park and went straight instead of to the left towards the campgrounds, this is the direction you would go. And so we are going to come in here and show you the pier and the gift shop, but I want to talk about some other things. This is where the majority of the parking is if you're wanting to go to the beach. There are tons of beach accesses up here. There's also a boardwalk. We'll show you that too. There's lots of parking over here to the left. We are going to go right towards the pier here. And if you go beyond the pier and just keep driving, so past this parking lot, just keep on driving, there are quite a few parking spots as well as additional restrooms. There's also additional restrooms behind me, and there's a restroom at the pier. So lots of full facilities. These are flushing toilets, full working restrooms, which is really, really nice. We're going to park here at the pier and take you on the pier for a look at the beach and also take a walk on the boardwalk. I also forgot to mention in this direction that I said you could keep going, and there's a bunch of parking and bathrooms. There is also, when I say bathroom, I mean restroom, not showers. There's also a bunch of beach accesses down there. So there's multiple beach accesses. They've got this great swing here, and there's a couple of other swings throughout the park. And then there's the pier. So we're going to head into the gift shop first. And just to let you know, the pier is free to walk on once you have paid your admission to get into the state park. So it's not really free, but a lot of piers in Myrtle Beach charge a fee even to walk on the pier, and this one does not. You do have to pay a fee to fish on the pier, and that even includes if you're camping. However, if you're camping, I think they offer some discounted options for the fishing. And you do not need a South Carolina fishing license to fish on piers in South Carolina, but you do if you fish on the beach. The fee charged to you by the pier will cover your fishing license, basically. So we'll just give a little quick tour through the gift shop, show you what that looks like. It's what you would expect in a beachy gift shop. They also have some fishing gear, they have ice cream, other snacks. So it's really nice. It's cute. You see some of the Myrtle Beach State Park themed merchandise that I mentioned that you can also find in the campground gift shop. Really cute cups and tumblers. Got our hats. I've got my hat on. You got to have a hat here. If you're at the beach, you need a hat. And there's the counter, some coffee. We are going to head out to the pier now. They have a beautiful pier, really nice. It was damaged by Ian in late September of last year, but they have finished most of their repairs. I think there are still some issues at the end, and we will show you that when we get to the end of the pier. But I also wanted to give you a tour of the beach. One positive that came out of Ian, this was destroyed right here, so they rebuilt it and they made it a lot more accessible. But you can see the other public beach accesses there. Beautiful day at the beach, people just getting set up. It's going to be an awesome day. Water looks amazing. They also have some educational signs along the pier. Here's what the other side looks at. So now we're looking back towards Surfside Beach and Garden City in this direction. So right down there is Surfside Beach. And that direction you're looking at Myrtle Beach, and that other pier you can see is the Spring Maid Pier. But here's one of the educational signs that I mentioned. And then up here's where you have the seats for fishing. Also got some of these that you can look out in the distance. Got a cute photo op here, the Myrtle Beach State Park. Really cute. Oh, it feels so good out here. I wish I could give you like smell-o-vision and the breeze, feel what it feels like. It's quite warm today, but this breeze is lovely. Really, really nice. So you can tell what the state park looks like. You can see the difference between the hotels and Hotel Row, and then just this beautiful wilderness with the only buildings you're seeing are those picnic shelters and the restrooms. We keep going down here. So right at the end of the pier, and we'll get there, there is still a section blocked off that they have not completed repairs on from Hurricane Ian. I don't know why it has not been finished. I don't know if they've run into issues or what, because they finished all the other repairs, not just to the pier, but also to some of the beach access. Stairs were damaged and they've already fixed all of those. Here's another educational sign here. Lots of people out fishing this morning. And as you can see, they do have sinks here as well for cleaning your fish. So that's handy. And there's another plane I mentioned, us being close to the airport. Sometimes the planes come in right over the beach here, and that can be actually pretty cool to see because they come in pretty low, and it's really neat. Today they're going out the other way. It depends on the wind direction and the weather as to which way they fly, whether they land this way or come out this way. But it can be really cool to watch the large jets come in over the beach. We have a couple of short videos of that on our channel if you want to check those out. They're under our shorts. Got the pigeons having a bath here. Kind of funny. Oh, caught something. And so they do have some shade here at the end. This is probably the most popular place to get set up early. And then, as I mentioned, we have this section down here that is not complete. Hopefully it will be soon. They've still got some boards missing down here and some other structural issues, so hopefully that will be completed soon. Over to the left side of the gift shop that's on the pier, there are really nice restrooms. They're actually air conditioned. I think these are the only ones that are air conditioned. Here's that accessible access as well as some picnic tables. And they've got some bike racks over here too, so if you are in the area and you want to bike, like if you want to bike from either the campground or if you're not too far from here and you want to bike, you definitely don't want to bike on Kings Highway. I do not recommend that. But there are some neighborhoods across the street from Kings Highway, and there is a crosswalk nearby that you can cross over with your bike. This boardwalk is a great place to walk. You can see the ocean if you don't want to walk in the sand. I know some people don't like walking on the sand either because it's uneven or it's messy or whatever, whatever reason. This is a good place, or for example, if you're running and you don't want to run in the sand, although you do have to be careful, these boards are not even, they're not 100% even. But you do have a great view of the ocean. You've got all kinds of wildflowers. You've got those morning glories, and these flowers attract a lot of butterflies too. So this is a really pretty boardwalk to walk along. We can come up here, take a closer look at one of the shelters. This is one of the smaller shelters, but it'll still give you an idea if you're thinking about having a family gathering or a picnic. We see some massive family gatherings here. I will say one of the biggest ones is over there next to the nature center, and it has its own restroom, which is also a plus. So if you're doing like a really big family reunion or something, you might want to think about that one. It does not have beach views like this, but it, like I said, it has its own restroom, and it's also totally shaded, and it has plenty of parking near it. So those are all big pluses, because yes, there's a lot of parking here, but this parking fills up because of people using the beach access here. Here's one of the public beach access up close, and they do have showers to rinse off. They're not indoors, they're outdoors, but they do have a foot wash as well as a shower, so you can at least get the sand off. They almost always have a bench right across from them that you can put all your belongings on, which is nice. I've been asked before, do they have indoor showers? Only for the campgrounds, and they're not for public use. It's only for people who are camping for the indoor showers. So here's the shelter. I'll go around to the other side so that you can see the name of the shelter in case you're interested in this one. And here's the view it has. You can't see the beach much at all when you're sitting down, but you can when you're standing up, and you can smell the ocean air and you can hear the waves. So it's definitely nice. Some have better views than others. So this is shelter B1, and happy birthday to Timmy. We don't know Timmy, but happy birthday, Timothy. So I'm gonna go over and check out I can't show you the inside of the restroom, but I'm gonna show you the outside and talk about it a little. So as we head up here to the restroom, I'm actually heading to a different one that I just pointed out. Like I said, there's multiples. So this is that main road you come in on. There is a electric vehicle parking spot, so I just thought I'd mention that in case you have an e-vehicle. And then I can't go in and film in the restroom, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about these restrooms. These restrooms do have changing rooms. Not all of them do, but most of them have changing rooms. The one up by the fishing pier does not, but these other ones do have a place you can change, not just within the toilet stall, but they actually have a little bench and a changing room. They do not have showers though. The showers are reserved for the campers only, so those are not open to people who are just day guests, so keep that in mind. You've got the outdoor shower I showed, but that's it. Since we pointed this out to you for the e-charging, just got to mention it's temporarily out of order at the time of this video, so no idea when it will be working again. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to click on the video on your screen right now and click subscribe so you won't miss anything new. Thanks so much for watching. Until our next adventure.